to to meme. Also, I found a job
That's
posting
saying
today
she
for a
can't breathe.
meme master, and I just wanted to
What?
Okay, can I have everyone do a mic check at normal voice, please? One at a time.
testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Despacito.
Normal talking voice.
That was my normal talking voice. Was my mic too loud?
No, other way.
Oh.
I'm trying to keep everyone's voice equivalent to where mine would be normally on my stream, so
Oh, that's right. I forgot I turned my volume down because of the music the last session.
yeah.
Okay.
Vale, go ahead.
You sound fine.
Testing,
Owen.
testing, 1, 2,
You
3.
don't.
Okay,
it
volume
should
level's fine on you too.
Domo
should be.
arigato,
Okay,
Mr.
cool.
Roboto.
And
Yeah.
Mayo.
No, no. Stop.
Stop what?
Puedo hablar solo inglés.
Niet.
Excuse you?
Da,
Niet.
Baba Booey.
da, wunderbar.
It is my campaign. I will speak a different language if I want to.
Do you want to?
Anyways, I'm gonna hit the go live button. Da.
We're in the wrong channel.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
All of our chat stuff is in the other channel.
There. Happy now?
Yeah, now we're in the correct channel with the rest of our chat stuff.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do a
It
little
was
intro on
out
my
of
stream.
character, so.
So anyway, you guys know what sounds really good right now?
No.
Ice cream.
Steak, roasted potatoes, and asparagus.
Oh,
What?
yes, that also sounds amazing, but I was thinking something a little bit more along the lines of like sweet tooth, not like savory and heavy.
Right.
Ice cream. Ice cream sounds good right now.
You like some Oreo or some cookie dough?
My favorite ice cream is just plain vanilla. I'm a basic bitch. I admit it.
No?
Just plain
Nothing wrong with
vanilla.
vanilla.
It's plain vanilla
Vanilla's
with
good to
some whipped
throw in other
cream.
desserts. Like if you get a cast iron cookie, throw some ice cream on there.
Just plain vanilla with a little bit of whipped cream, a cherry on top, and some cinnamon. Ideal.
Sounds intriguing.
And then if you hit it with a torch and burn the whipped cream a little bit, it tastes like a creme brulee.
Nice.
Creme brulee is also amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's a very interesting conversation to walk back into.
Oh, I have a little bit of sweet tooth, that's all. We were just talking about it while we were waiting for you to come back.
We're just speaking on all the best desserts. Bread pudding
All
being
of the
one of
best desserts? And you're not even bringing me into the conversation, huh?
It's not our fault
We were
you
waiting to
left.
surprise you. Yeah, it's like my dad. He said he was going to get milk, and that was 13 years ago.
Well, maybe the milk was just expired every single time he went.
True. He could be going to a farm and try to get it fresh. I should have thought
Maybe
of
the
that.
real milk was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
Anyways, I believe we are ready to get this started.
I believe so.
All
Are you
right.
sure?
I believe. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Are you ready?
There's only one way to know for sure. It's
Everyone, roll
time
con
to
saves to see if you wake up.
do.
Roll what?
No, I'm kidding.
Con saves to see if we wake up.
And
that
it
was
was
good.
all just a dream.
Nope. Kennedy got a 3. That's a negative.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
Wait, I thought it was a joke. Are we actually just gonna do that?
Whether it was or not, I rolled anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oof. Number 7. We're stuck in the Matrix.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and roll it, Cordovan. Let's see. Let's see
It's a
what that
con
ends out as.
save? 5.
All right. Every one of you had no idea what to do for the rest of the day or night, so y'all went to sleep
So it's a
due
long
to
rest.
exhaustion. Yes, full long rest. For some of you, too much excitement happened. For the rest who were not part of all the excitement, the day just dragged on way too long, and you got exhausted from nothing exciting happening.
You said long rest?
Yes, you are falling asleep for the night. Long rest.
Okay. Cool.
All right. That being said, start of the morning, each and every one of you hear a knock on your door.
Okay.
I answered.
Is there like a
As you
peephole on
open
the
the door,
door that
no,
we can look through? Oh, okay.
there is not.
Okay.
Vale, as you open the door, once again you see the exact same breakfast as yesterday, sitting on the table in front of you again. But this time, you were quick enough to get to the door that if as you look kind of around, see if anything else is around, you notice Bark walking away, going towards the front of the train.
Hmm.
Pushing a cart.
Oh.
That's a cart full of tickets.
Have you gone out to look?
No, I'm just. That's a rhetorical question. I don't actually need to know the answer.
It's full of heads of the people that didn't give her tickets.
Hey, shush.
That spoiled the surprise.
Kennedy is going to open the door and look at the waffles in disgust.
Wait, why? Because they're
This
not
time,
peaches?
Yes.
when you open the door,
Oh wait, didn't you get sick from them last session?
No, that was the onion rings in the first session, but Kennedy's a
yeah.
vegetarian, so she's probably not going to eat waffles because they have egg in them.
See, the best part is for this one this time, yours is nothing but peaches. It's as if it was made a thing that your favorite is peaches.
Poor Eth must be talking
Wow.
to people. All right, yeah.
Now, is it variations on peaches, or is it just peaches, like a plate full of peaches?
A plate full of peaches.
Like whole peaches or like pre-sliced?
A few whole and a few pre-sliced.
Ooh, fancy dancy.
So if we were to, if I open my door, would I see anybody there? Like, or is it just to announce the breakfast?
It is a simple knock on the door, and it is left in
Okay.
front of you. It is left in front of the door.
So, I'll open the door and I'll look to see who would have knocked. Do I see anything?
As you open the door, you look out in front of you, and there's a plate of food
But
on
there's
the
nobody
table.
there.
Nobody there. You do hear footsteps off to one side, though, and a wheel kind of turning.
Is this squeaky?
I was just about to
Not
ask.
not super squeaky. You can hear it every now and then, though. It's like that every second or third rotation squeak. If you're gonna try and, because of where you're located, roll perception.
Okay. I can
You're a
do
bit
that.
further away than Vale is for their train car, so.
Perception. Oh, here it is. Nat 20.
Yeah, you can definitely tell as you look across over to see who the heck would have left food at your door. You can absolutely certainly see that it is Bark pushing a cart away that has more food on it.
Well, let me inspect the food that I already got.
What are you looking for? Are you just looking at what it is?
Yeah, I just want to see what it is.
Give me 1 second here, and I will actually draw up a picture this time.
No, I thought you were gonna make the food in real
You're
life and
just
then
gonna
take
make it
pictures of
IRL and
it.
then just show it to us, being like,
Yeah.
okay, here it is.
Oops.
All right. As well, Vale, this is also what you see in front of you.
Ooh.
They are much bigger proportions, though. You would say the amount of fruit on that plate is equivalent to the waffle. Waffle is
Ooh.
about double the size.
I'm gonna once again take my food inside and eat.
Cordovan, you also see this in front of you. But as you
Lovely.
look out, you also see that Kennedy's plates is just peaches. One of them is whole, one of them is sliced.
Well, as long as I don't have any peaches on my plate and I don't have to worry that your Kennedy is gonna try and fight me for them, then I don't see a problem. Right. Well, yeah. I guess I would also be taking my food into my room on the train.
As you all start to bring your food inside, you hear a very familiar yell. as it comes back down the hall.
Yell.
Ticket.
Oh.
And you are the first one. No, Vale, you are the first one that she would stop at. As you just see this little Kenku stop right in front of you and look at you.
I
Before you're
will.
able to close your door.
Oh, I will hold my arm out for her and say, "Thank you for the food. Thank you for the food, my friend."
Ticket. Ticket. And she reaches up and grabs your wristband and adds another clip to it in the aquamarine slot.
Oh, okay.
Kind of shakes your hand, turns around, looks at Kennedy. Ticket, ticket.
Kennedy is gonna munch on a peach with one hand and hold out her wrist with the other.
She kind of grabs it and looks around for a second, trying to find it. Finally finds it and clicks the aquamarine slot out as well. Ticket.
Why is it different?
Ticket. She walks away down to Cordovan.
That sounded weirdly matter of fact. Kennedy just kind of mutters to herself and continues eating.
Okay, you're talking about what, this thing? And then he holds up the
Ticket.
bracelet. You know, he's a little
Ticket.
confused, but he's showing it. He's showing it.
She aggressively grabs your arm below it, looks over, clips out the aquamarine slot as well,
Well, all right then.
and then she bonks you on the head with her ticket tool.
Hey, what was that for?
Ticket. Her eyes kind of narrow a little bit weirdly at you.
Okay then.
And then she walks back to where her cart was and pushes it, continuing down the hall.
I will keep that in mind.
And so with that, you all return to your rooms, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get to start eating yet, so.
All right, it has been 2 days currently since you've been on the train. Closer to a day and a half in technical terms, but yeah, we'll do that. About an hour or so passes. And then, again, each of you hear another knock on your door.
All right, what's this about?
They will come to the door.
As you arrive at the door, standing in front of you, standing in the hallway for each of you, is this person here. Their sword is in their hand, but not in a threatening manner.
Some kind of guard?
You and Vale would both recognize it as the same guard from yesterday.
So Kennedy's gonna cross her arms over her chest and lean on the door frame Just kind of look him up down like you better have a good reason for being here.
Yeah, I'd be careful waving that sword around. I don't know if we're allowed to have those.
I am the guard
And
captain.
still,
If
those
anyone
things
is
can.
allowed to have one, it is me.
All right. Well, as long as you're not swinging it around, I guess that's fine.
Hmm. Anyways, I'm under the belief all three of you are part of the same traveling adventuring group.
Allegedly. Why?
Yeah, why do you ask?
I have some questions to ask about the incident yesterday.
Oh, well, you're asking the wrong person.
And you thought we would answer questions nicely if you bear your weapons at us?
My intent with the weapon is not to use against any of you.
Yet, it's nonetheless bear.
Yeah, and that also implies that there is somebody on this train that it is supposed to be used on, which is concerning me, to say the least.
I'm sure at least one of you has noticed one of our more secretive guests. They are one I have been keeping an eye on. I wish to be prepared if they try to do anything.
What kind of questions do you have?
Ah, fairly mundane questions, but I would like you all at the third train, please. Upon the next the next 2 hours at your own time.
Okay, but
Kennedy's just gonna
out of
kind of.
character, I'm trying to think of like a reason why I wasn't participating in whatever yesterday was. So I'm thinking
We could
maybe.
just say you went to bed.
Well, what time did it all happen at? It wasn't like in the middle of the day, was it?
It was throughout the whole
It
day.
was. Yeah. This whole thing went throughout the day.
Okay, well maybe I just had like food poisoning or something, and I just like didn't leave my room. Would that make sense? Would that be like a good enough reason?
Yeah.
Cool.
You could always have some downtime stuff you could have been doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's plenty to do on the train. So, nonetheless, I do wish to see you as well. And with that, he walks off back towards the front of the train. His sword never once leaving his hand.
Wait, you said the third. What car are we in now?
Currently, you are all situated at the 43rd train. 43rd train car.
Oh.
What? How are we supposed to get all the way there?
Walk and walk.
What a pain.
It's only like a few miles for walking 40 car lengths.
Yeah, but you're forgetting, like, I literally wasn't even there for any of this, and I gotta go all the way out and. Ugh.
True. What else do you have planned today?
Anything but this. But, you know. I
Who knows?
suppose I can listen to the guy who's been waving a sword around everywhere. I may not be happy about it, though.
I believe
And
if he
let me
wanted
try.
to do us harm, he would have that pointed at us, and probably would have more than just one person.
Yes, the sword was pointed directly towards the ground. If you were worried about it being used as a weapon, specifically Cordovan.
Yeah, I'm just saying, he doesn't seem like somebody who I want to be on the wrong side of. If you get what I mean.
Nah, I get you. I get what you mean.
Good.
We will be there. Thank you. Okay. Actually, I did not catch your name.
I will bestow that upon our meeting in the third train.
Very well.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, Kennedy is going to uh grab a peach for the road, and
Of course.
she's gonna start walking.
You do still have to find your peaches. Because who knows if they took them from your peaches or not.
Well, I mean, Kennedy wouldn't know that anyway because she hasn't found them yet, so she doesn't know how many there are. Um, Also, she didn't follow them to the back of the train car to find the cat the other day, so she has no idea where they are. She doesn't even know that they exist. Um,
She was told that.
oh yeah, that's right.
She was told she
She was
has
left a
peaches in
note. I
storage.
remember. Yeah, I remember
Yep.
she was left a note.
Left a note that there are peaches in storage for you. And then you went the opposite way.
Oh, but uh she has to go and find poor ass apples, and that's probably on the way to the third train car, isn't it?
She told you a storage cart.
Mm-hmm. So between where we're going and where she currently is Porath's train car and the storage cart that she told her to go to.
No, the storage car is the same one as where the peaches are. So it's still, you haven't crossed it yet.
And it's the opposite direction from where she has to go to meet the grumpy dude with the sword.
Yes.
Well, anyway, she grabbed her peach for the road and then set off.
To the front or to the back?
She's gonna head for the train car to get the grumpy dude's thing over with.
Well, we probably have like an hour or two to get there.
Yeah,
Yes.
which way
He
is
did
that
say
anyway?
within the next 2 hours. So. You would know that train car 3 would mean one of the front 3 train cars.
Yeah.
And
I
you would
mean,
also know you have to go to the front of the train for that.
I feel like that also kind of explains itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to visualize in my head like the layout of this train.
There's a lot of
Just
them.
like any other train. There's a lot of stuff in this train, though.
Listen, I've been on a train maybe once in my entire life, so
I
I
mean,
apologize.
that's fine, but like, we were told exactly where to go, so that also comes with the implication that we were given directions if we needed it.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, which like does left go to the front or the back of the train from where we are? You know, just that kind of stuff. Trying to solve that.
Oh, it just
Yep.
depends which direction you're facing, honestly, because if you're facing, north versus south, that changes the direction of the train. Changes the way that the train is oriented too. So, I mean, that's a constantly changing thing. I wouldn't worry about it, honestly. It's only relevant if it actually is like brought up.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of overthinking it a little bit.
Yeah, for me, in the whole situation of the train, if you're going to the front or the back of the train, it makes no difference what direction that is. You are going to the front of the train or the back of the train.
Okay. Yeah, I think I understand.
All right. So, yeah, Kennedy's headed that direction. Opposite direction, yet again, of the peaches and the apples.
He only wanted to see one of us at a time, right?
He said he wants to see all three of you,
Was
preferably
it supposed
within
to
the
be?
next 2 hours.
Was it supposed to be one at a time?
Never said that. He also never said it had to be all three of you at once. He left it
Okay.
open for you each to come in at your own will if you wanted to, or if you wanted to go as a group.
Okay then. Do we want to go as a group?
Well, you just watched your satyr friend start walking that way, so that is
Well,
up
there's
to you if
still
you want
two
to
more
follow
of
them.
us. You know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about that.
That's up to you.
Have no worries. I think it should be fine if we all go at once. I have not introduced myself. I'm there. And I'll reach my hand out to shake yours.
Wait, didn't I thought we all met at the like out of character? I thought we all met at the
They were
adventure
not
D&D
there
whatever.
for the first session.
Oh, right. I remember now. All right. Well, yeah. So I guess I'd shake his hand back and I'd introduce myself as Cordovan. And you know, that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about myself. You know, the more information will be known when the time is right.
Fine with me. I've already met mind mic real quick. Kennedy and Astrea. So I assume you're part of our gang as well.
Yeah. I mean, I have been given the I suppose you could call it a privilege of being included in this group, but we'll see how it goes.
Fair enough. You can't tell what's gonna happen until it happens.
Yeah, you know?
Well, I'm going to head towards the guards, but you can do as you please.
Well, I mean, with how long that's gonna take, let's see. Well, we don't have anything else to do today, do we?
I'm sorry, I missed that last part.
I said, well, do we have anything else to do today?
Not that I'm aware of. We are waiting till we get to the next city, which is. One sec, I just gotta get the right name. Uh, Mabanilos.
I don't suppose they told you what we're actually going to be doing there, did they?
I was under the impression that we are just sent to adventure more, gain more experience, but perhaps there is more to do there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm exactly the adventuring type, but I guess we'll see what happens.
So we must.
And so you both start to head towards the front of the train, following behind Kennedy.
Yes.
And how long would it take to get there on foot?
Not too long.
I mean, you said it's, what, a mile? Did you say it was a
Much
mile to get
longer
there?
than that.
Oh, man. Well, at least they have us breakfast first, right?
All right. And so to the front of the train you all head.
So, by the time we get there, because Kennedy had a head start, right?
Not too long of one, but yes.
Would Kennedy already be talking to the guard and answering questions, or would we all kind of get there at the same time?
Uh, well, did you want to stop anywhere along the way? You do have up to 2 hours. And that does go for
Oh, I
anyone
don't know
wanting to
where
stop anywhere.
where would we even stop?
Any of the restaurants, any of the bars, any of the kitchens, any other stop on the way.
Well, we did just eat breakfast, right? So,
Basically, any of the places that I've put in World Place,
okay.
you could reasonably stop at.
Let me look through it really quick. Roll place, roll place. I mean, the only I would say I'd maybe like stop at the bathroom, but that's about it.
Vale, anything you wanted to?
No. Well, I'll stop in at make sure I'm getting the right name. I don't want to say the wrong one. Porath bar and get some tea to go.
Hmm. What kind of tea would you like?
Give me your best recommendation.
Special occasion today?
Not quite. Going to the front of the train, but who knows? It could be special. Yet to see.
Alright, give me just a moment. And Porath kind of leans over again and sets something up behind the bar yet again, like she did yesterday. So, anything exciting happened today so far?
Today, no. Oh well. The captain of the guard came to our rooms. I had some questions to ask, but nothing too crazy.
The guard usually never comes back here.
I guess we're just
Interesting.
that special.
Perhaps. Though in the 2 years I have been here, I've only seen the guard come this far 3 times.
You don't say. For what?
Not my reason to say.
Fair enough.
Stuff that is definitely above me, though.
Well, thank you for the information, Porath.
And Cordovan and Kenny both did not stop at Porath's.
That's right.
Alright, so Vale, you will be entering about 3 minutes behind them.
Okay.
Cordovan and Kennedy both make perception.
Perception. Okay, let me pull that up.
By the way, love the divinity sounds. I said I love the music.
20.
Okay, I got a 12. Was that a check? It wasn't a saving throw, was it?
No.
There's no such thing as a perception saving throw.
So I was looking at the passive perception thing that was under the saving throws. What is that? What is that passive? Oh, passive check. Okay. Never mind. I found out what it does.
Well, actually, that would be a use if you're actually trying to look for something, so...
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to your passive, then.
Okay, well, my passive is 15, and
Yeah.
I rolled 12, so it's not that much of a difference, but I'll still take it.
Well, for you, it made the pass, so...
Okay, cool.
Your passive on this, you both notice this out of place looking gentleman in a very, very long cloak. Stands a good 6 foot something in height.
Would we recognize him from anything?
You would not. Kennedy, if she decided to push any further on that, would be able to recognize further. But you do,
What do you mean? What do you mean push?
like, decide to actually look, like stop and look.
Oh, because she didn't make the perception check. You mean?
No, she made the perception. That was just to notice them.
Oh, okay. But so you're saying Kennedy would recognize them immediately?
Even
They
with a
would notice
20?
a similar figure. I meant to do passive. That was my mistake.
Well, I rolled a 20 on perception anyway.
So then, yeah, I'll give that one to you. It definitely is the same person you saw last time. Same green skin, very sharp, angular face.
That wasn't the conductor, right?
No. You haven't met the conductor yet.
That's what I was thinking. Just wanted to double check because I don't know why I suddenly thought, oh, the conductor. Wait, no, you're a fucking idiot.
I wouldn't say that much. What's your intelligence?
Are we talking Kennedy or like real life? Because like real life, I don't know, probably
Kennedy.
14.
Yeah, you'd have to be a 6 for that to apply. All right. So, Cordovan, your check isn't good enough to really give any strong detail about them. So, you can put it in your mind that that's someone you might want to keep a look on or watch out for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, that would make sense.
And so you both continue on, correct?
Oh wait, I thought this was when we actually got to the
No.
correct car.
No.
Oh, well then yeah, we definitely continue. Kennedy has nothing nice to say to this person.
Oh, okay.
All right. And Vale, I would like you to. Your passive is high enough to see the person. As you're walking by with your tea. Again, you see this tall, cloaked figure. You can just make out a green skin tone and a very sharp, angular face. What do you do?
Sorry, my mic was up and I didn't realize it. Are they alone right now, or are they with somebody else?
Perception.
Okay. A 16.
All right. With your 16, you take a quick glance around you. They're alone currently.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I will go over to them. Uh, yeah. Sure. As I approach him, I will pull up one of my daggers and just like wrap an arm around him and just barely prick him with the dagger and say, "Excuse me, friend. I think that we should have a short talk."
Roll a stealth check.
Hmm.
Or,
Uh,
unless you're not trying to be quiet as you do this, a dexterity check.
21 for stealth. There we go. A little better than my last rolls last week.
And are you trying to put him in a grapple?
Not really. Just put my arm around him, like looking like I'm all like talking to an old buddy, but just like having with my other hand, just have a dagger, like barely touching him, just so he knows it's there. And being like, "Let's go have a talk." Not grappling, just like putting my arm around him so I could like guide him to where I want to go.
In a very hushed tone, I highly suggest you rethink what you're about to try and do.
I only wish to talk. I know you've been speaking a lot about the royal cat, and I just want
And
to
yet, you
more
have a
information.
dagger to my side.
True. Company you kept yesterday was rather dangerous, so I did not want to take chances.
They were not company.
Hmm. Then have I your word that we will have a civilized conversation?
I'm supposed to just blindly trust one who decided to pull a dagger without even reason.
Well, considering you are talking about perhaps my crew that has been slaughtered, yes, you shall.
Hmm. Fine.
Do I think they're being
Remove your
genuine?
dagger, and I will converse.
Do I feel like they're being genuine?
Roll insight.
16.
You can tell they really just want you to get the dagger away from them. And they're kind of telling you whatever you want to hear so that you'll get the dagger away.
Hmm. Fine. And I'll pull the dagger, or I'll shoot the dagger. So, I heard you talking about the Golden Lion. What information do you have?
I never said a thing about the Golden Lion.
Strange, because I had heard you speaking before. If you were not speaking about the Golden Lion, then what do you speak of? Of a royal lion. A royal cat.
Are you that dense to think that name has never been used before?
Perhaps. But I only want information regarding my ship.
What of your ship?
I want to
Do
know
I
who.
look like a sailor?
It doesn't have to be a sailor that had done anything to it. I just know that someone attacked it, and I hear you speaking about something similar, so I want to know.
Well, an event of an attacked ship is going to spread word, is it not?
Yes,
Possibly
but
for years.
perhaps. But strange that I hear you talking about the captain that was so easy to kill. That he barely put up a fight. Does not seem like idle chatter.
Perhaps a story was told that I was reciting, maybe?
And who would you have heard this story from, exactly?
Any who would know the ship and its legacy and what happened on that day.
So you do know. And
Unless you have first-hand knowledge yourself of something happening differently. You wouldn't happen to have that, would you? He kind of leans over at you. You wouldn't happen to have first-hand knowledge now, would you?
And if I were to,
Choose your words carefully.
does it? Do you mean first-hand knowledge of the attack?
What do you think I mean by first-hand knowledge? They say a legend of one who escaped. A lone survivor. Among the wreckage. And
Is
you
that so?
say it was your ship that you were riding upon.
A ship that I had rode on before. And if I found out that my previous ship had been attacked, then why would I not why would I not want to figure out what happened?
Perhaps you should go find the real people you should be questioning then.
And who would that be?
The notorious pirate group. I'm sure you've heard of them.
I've heard of a lot of pirate groups.
The
Which
Fleet
one?
of Midnight. tend to have a group of 10 plus battleship sized ships attacking merchants in the dead of night as they travel.
One sec. I thought I was typing, but it didn't actually count.
Oh, fun.
I looked down, type, and then I looked up, and I was like, it's not there. Very well. Thank you for this knowledge. I'm sorry for being hostile, but I was just intending to see what had happened.
Do not worry. The hostility did not really make me in fear of anything.
True. Sec. Let me see what I was looking for. Yeah. Either way, I will hand him 5 gold and say,
Keep
either
your
way.
change.
Well then,
I
thank you
wish
for
not
your
of it.
information. We'll have a safe trip,
Ooh,
and I'll continue on.
change. High roll it.
And keep your head out of places it does not belong.
I'll be right
Stow
back, guys.
away.
Okay.
I'll give him a nod as I leave.
Alright, Kennedy, you would have arrived first to the captain's quarter at this moment.
Alright. You said quarter? Like, so like this is a room?
The whole train car,
Oh, I see. So
as you enter in, is just filled with armors on one side. About halfway down is full of weapons on another side, and weapon racks in the center. And then there is a very surprisingly big walled off area with a door in front of it.
she's gonna kind of like quickly glance around and just kind of shrug like, well, if you only have one skill, make sure you do it well. Let's get this over with. Is the guard anywhere to be seen? If he's not, she's gonna walk up to the door. I'm
Nope.
assuming the walled off area has a door. She's gonna walk up to it
Yes.
and knock.
You hear kind of a doled out enter.
She's going to like audibly scoff, like, no.
A few seconds of dead silence, and you hear a little bit of scuffling across to the door. And as the door opens, you are greeted by a very familiar sight. Looking up at you.
Looking up at me. Kennedy's already pretty
Ticket.
short. Oh.
Hey, what did I miss?
You again. Also, that
Ticket,
was
ticket.
really bad
And
timing
she'll
for Owen
step
to
out of
come
the
back
side.
and then Kennedy to just like sigh like
I
that.
really thought you were talking about me. I'm so upset. Oh my
That
god,
was
don't
absolutely
scare me
perfect timing.
It was not. Don't say that.
I'm so sorry, Owen.
Yeah. Bark opens the door fully and steps aside and makes a motion like, "Come on in."
I'm so sorry, Owen. That was Kennedy's reaction to seeing Bark again.
Oh, Cordovan, you also see this exchange. You did kind of slow down just a little, and you're also not as fast as Kennedy walking, so it does take you a little bit. But you see the exchange as you enter into the area
The exchange of
of
Burke showing up, you mean?
what?
Of
Of
Bark showing up?
Yeah, of Bark opening the door to where Kennedy is entering.
And Bart's not even saying anything about tickets?
Oh, she
She
did.
did.
She did.
That's the opens the door,
Oh,
looks up, ticket,
okay. I guess
And
I
looks
missed
at
that
you,
part.
and
ticket.
that's when Kennedy went, "You again."
Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that part. I was still putting my headphones on.
Yeah, so Kennedy's going to take like a step into the door and then step to the side.
Sitting about 15 feet away from you is the captain of the guard, sitting behind a desk.
Kennedy's
And on
gonna
his desk, he has a ticket.
Kennedy's gonna cross her arms and lean against the wall behind her. She has zero desire to be here, and she's going to make it very well known.
Cordovan, you see a very small Kanku running towards you.
How fast?
Fast.
600
Well, I guess
a second.
I'm just gonna like brace for impact in case Bark doesn't stop.
You brace, and right as the collision is about to hit, Bark stops dead in front of you. Like, with a single step, they stop.
Jeez, don't
Ticket.
scare me like that. Come on.
They grab your arm,
We've
start
already
trying to
been
drag
through
you.
this today. What?
They grab your arm and they start trying to drag you to the room. They're making absolutely no progress. You barely even feel them tugging on you.
Out of pity, I'm going to start moving because I feel bad now.
Every single one of you is much stronger than Bark is. And
Yeah, I
so
could
you
have
are
guessed
brought
that much.
in. You are brought into the room.
Mhm.
And as you enter off to your left, you see Kennedy standing there, very uninterested in anything going on here.
Well, I mean, she's paying attention. She's just not happy about it.
Mhm.
Only two of you currently, I see. No
Wait,
matter, I
where's
can ask them the same questions.
where's was it Vale who's not here?
Hmm. Though I do not know names, I would believe that to be
No,
correct.
that's out of character.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's Vale that's not there
Okay.
yet.
He's fashionably late.
I wouldn't say fashionably. I just say late.
Seems fitting for a giant cat to be fashionably late. Alright, well, we're here. Let's go ahead and get on with it. I have bigger mysteries to solve around here than whatever you're going to ask me about, so let's go.
It is about the body that was found last night by you and
Yeah,
your friends.
yeah, I kind of gathered that. I'm not a complete idiot, thanks. Can we move on, please? What do you want to ask us?
What do you know about that? I am not accusing. I want to understand what you came across.
Yeah, yet again, not a complete idiot. I know the difference. Alright, so we came across the body. I investigated to make sure that the person was in fact dead, so yes, I confirm I touched it.
Wait, what? All of this
That
happened.
has nothing on the side of my concern whether you did it or not.
All of this happened while I wasn't there, so this is news to me.
Well, regardless, came across the body, I checked to make sure it was actually dead. It was, in fact. They were white, they had like almost black lips, totally looked like a frozen person, cold to the touch, impossibly cold. I've felt dead bodies before, long story, don't ask. And that was that. Then we went to go and get our friend because, you know, of course, you bring people to the drama, not the drama to the people. So we went to go get our friend. We had this plan. She was going to scream, alert the guard, blah, 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 blah. So we went to go and get her, brought her back, and we ended up getting back to the body beforehand. She went to go and get you, and then. Actually, that's not completely correct. We all got back to the body first. And then she went to go and get you guys once she told us that our plan was basically dumb. Uh, and then on the way back, the body reanimated, started screaming at us, and I shot the fucking thing up against the wall. That's all that happened.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, now I'm really glad that I wasn't there.
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff, and zombies is not one of them, and I prefer to keep it that way.
Well, the cat was there too, but he's not currently here, so I'll let him speak for himself.
Hmm.
Well,
I
that's
see.
all that happened, which is exactly what we told you yesterday.
One moment, please. As you can see, he's writing something down. Most likely what you have said. And you say you weren't there at all. Looks over at Cordovan.
I mean, like I said before, I had food poisoning. I couldn't have been there. And frankly, now I'm glad. I'm starting to think that was a blessing in disguise.
I can
Hmm.
confirm he wasn't there.
Begins writing once again.
Yeah, I mean, trust me when I say I'm not happy about that. Like, I didn't, you know,
You know, the
wasn't
the
my idea
less
of
you
fun.
talk, the less he has to ask you.
It is very true.
Point taken. Point taken.
Did the body make any aggressive motions towards either of you?
Other than screaming, actually, no. It didn't try to touch us, hurt us, kill us, or anything. It didn't make any movements towards us, it just wouldn't shut up. Oh,
Hmm.
and right before it reanimated, the bracelet started glowing. This thing, she shows her, like, ticket.
We did find that a little odd when we overlooked it. That is something we'll have to ask one of the mages at the next stop.
surprised this one doesn't know anything, and she kind of nods towards Bark.
Bark is a great help. However, their limited vocabulary does hinder a lot of what they can do.
I still
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think they're.
I was gonna say, I don't. No matter what we ask it, I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is gonna be.
I still don't think there's anybody in current company who would know more about those tickets than they would.
Oh, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
but how do you expect them to tell us?
They can write, can't they? Actually, I don't know much about bird
No,
folk.
Bark there has never learned the ability to write.
That
Sorry
seems
to hear that.
awfully convenient for someone who's trying to keep a secret. Anyhow,
They do a very good job at keeping a secret of how the bracelets work.
yeah, that's kind of my point.
Not
Wait,
even our conductor knows.
are you trying to imply that these bracelets it can actually turn us into zombies?
No, I'm not trying to imply
No.
that at all. I'm trying to imply that if there's anything fishy going on with the bracelets, this, and she gestures to Bark with one like wave of her hand, is probably the only person who can answer any questions anybody has.
I mean, yeah, that does make sense.
She looks at
But
dozens, probably thousands of them a day.
you're starting to worry me though, because we're wearing these things and we can't get them off.
Well, I mean, none of us
What do
have
you
tried
mean?
leaving the train yet. I'm sure it'll probably. Everything has its own reason. You're a magician, aren't you? You should know.
The
Yeah, but
train and the bracelets have a lock mechanism between them. Once you are on the train, you cannot remove them until you step off of the train.
Yeah,
It
see?
is it is to ensure only the true passengers of the train should be on the train.
so you're saying we can take them off eventually?
Once you step off of the train, yes, they will come off like any other bracelet.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really starting to wonder why the guild would send us here.
That's a good
The guild
question,
sent you.
actually. Ah, yes.
What?
I thought you knew that. It's on our tickets.
It does not tell me what the ticket is for. It simply tells me rank.
Well, they're the ones who procured the tickets for us, and they were given to us before we boarded.
I mean,
Yes, tickets are purchasable at
wouldn't
any
you know
rank
that
level and
the
easily can be
guilds?
handed out.
No,
Did you not notice the guild buying them?
yeah, I think you misunderstood me. I meant that the guilds bought the tickets for us en masse, which would be fairly odd, and then they were distributed to us before we boarded the train, so it would
Yeah,
be.
I figured you'd be expecting somebody from the guild.
That would be what you would be asking Bark. Bark would know all about that.
Yeah, well,
I
as we've
am simply here
stated,
to
asking
protect.
Bark anything is a moot point, isn't it?
Very much so.
And what say you,
I
Bark?
am simply here to protect the passengers as best I am able to.
Well, differing opinions of
Bark
how
kind
well
of
you're doing
looks
your
up at
job
you.
aside, Bark looks up at her.
Adventure.
Oh, you can say words other than ticket. Adventure, yes.
Oh, never thought
Looks
I'd see
over
the
at
day.
Cordovan.
What?
She
Liar.
she looked over at you and called you a liar.
Well, hold on a minute, all right? Don't go making accusations that you can't back up. That's how you make enemies. I'm not saying that I want to be enemies with you. All right. I'm just saying, don't go accusing people.
Well, regardless, the only information that matters here is what happened yesterday, and yesterday you were not present for the matter at hand. So, personally,
Yeah, that was definitely not a lie. So I don't know why you're going ahead accusing me.
so
It is
personally, I
about
don't
this
care.
time, Vale, you would enter into the train car.
Is the other door to the little like office area still open, or did Bark
Yes.
close it? Okay, then you should be able to see us, Vale.
Okay.
Yes. You are able to see Cordovan still standing in the doorway, Bark kind of standing a little bit ahead of him,
Oh, there
and
you are.
Kennedy a little bit off to the side.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll move out of the way so that I'm not blocking the entrance.
Sorry for the delay. I had to speak with someone.
Cat.
Yes. This is
Yeah,
Vale.
see, look at this thing. It can actually say more words. I don't know why it took so long, but yeah, it said something that's not about tickets. So
For someone who speaks so much, I'm surprised that you would uh, jump on someone's inability to say things other than what's necessary.
well, I'll tell you
Oh,
what's not necessary is calling people liars. So
You
I'll
seem
tilt my head, look
awfully
at Cordova.
bothered by that.
well, yeah, it's a really rude thing. Don't you think so?
No, not
I'll,
at all, actually. Anyway, Vale, go ahead.
I'll tilt my head towards Cordova and say, ticket.
Oh, haha, real funny. We got a jokester over here. Come on.
Ticket!
Well, it is not Park's fault that she cannot speak too much.
Well, hopefully, uh, since it turns out that she can speak, that
Yes.
she can actually give us some more information about
No.
what the connection is between the bracelets and these zombies that I apparently missed out on.
None.
I doubt we're going to get any information from that. But Bark, can you just give me a yes or no? Can you answer for me if what we saw, the glowing bracelet, was at least out of the ordinary?
Sorry, that's my T alarm.
Okay, Android
That was
alarm.
not her
I
response.
thought I genuinely thought that was supposed to be Mark's response. That would have been very funny.
You kind of see Bark look, kind of just stare off a little bit. Never.
Does that mean that that's never happened, or you're never going to tell me?
Again, a very awkward pause and a very out of place or zoned out looking face.
Ow.
Happen.
Ah, okay. So since it's never happened, do you think we should keep a lookout for it happening again? Or do you think it's probably fine?
Danger.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of inclined to agree on that one.
Well, as I
Ticket.
said, no one
As they
probably
pull
knows
out
any more.
the exact ticket that was on the person, holding it up in the air.
Why do you have that? Get rid of it.
But
How?
she has the only tool to remove it. I would assume that she was the one that took it off.
We don't
Yeah,
actually know that that can remove the bracelets. We only know that it can punch through them.
Oh.
So,
give me.
this is Kennedy talking.
Oh.
So, and she looks at the guard, gesturing to the bracelet that Bark is holding, isn't suspect to you? Not that I'm accusing the bird, just the fact that the bracelet is off and the person is... Well, is that how the magic works? Can you also remove a bracelet if the person who's wearing it is dead?
Yes, you are able to remove a bracelet if it is not connected to a person anymore. And by connected, I do mean not alive.
I
If
gathered.
they are
Again, not an
reanimated,
idiot,
it
thank
will
you.
still affect, though.
So, could that
Yes, it.
be...
Sorry, go ahead.
Could that be the glowing that we saw? Perhaps the bracelet retaking effect after the body reanimated?
Do you happen to remember what color it glowed?
Uh, that is
It
the
was
question
red.
for... Yes.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Red.
Bark, bring the bracelet over. And she kind of runs over and
Seriously,
slams it down on
that
the
thing's
desk.
probably dangerous. I don't know if we should be keeping that around.
The bracelets themselves are usually harmless.
What do you mean usually?
Well, this is an
That means typically.
this is an
It
outlying
means
case,
exactly
don't you
what it
agree?
means.
This is obviously an outlying case. I mean, we can't say that 100% of the time the bracelets are safe because obviously something happened to this one. But although it seems that we should be on guard, as per suggestion from our ticket friend here, I don't think
Uh,
Hmm.
I don't think that
Yes,
I'm
it
our
was.
bracelets are affected.
I hope not. Goodness, because
It
we
was
can't
due
take
to
these
them
things
being
off.
reconnected. A bracelet on its usual first acquaintance with its owner will glow the color of the rank initially. The same will happen if a reanimation should happen.
And
It
Yeah,
you
has
just
happened
tell more about
twice.
that, please. Wait, twice?
Yes.
When was the other time?
is that
About
relevant?
160 years ago.
Ah, this train is older than I thought.
How old did you think the train
So,
was?
Well, there are some patrons of your train who seem to think that they've only been here for 2 years and only can read or write languages that have been long since dead.
I'm
I do
sorry,
remember that.
who do you speak of?
Until I confirm more, I won't be able to give you that information. But should I need to make a report, I know where to find you now.
Hmm, clever.
So, we've determined that the glow happened because of the bracelet reconnecting to its person after reanimation. Now the only thing we have to figure out is who reanimated it and how did that person die?
You said the body was frozen
Well, it appeared
to the touch.
frozen. It appeared frozen and it definitely felt cold, but it didn't feel hard like it would if it were solid. Does that make better sense?
Hmm.
It wasn't like it was frozen solid, but it did look like someone who perhaps had been found in a frozen lake, minus the wet, of course, but black lips, white skin, as if for all intents and purposes their soul had been sucked from their body, perhaps. I don't know. Imagery is a weird thing to try and describe. It's not my
If that
forte.
is the case, then. Hmm. We might have to make a rush to the next city in that case.
That doesn't sound good.
I disagree, actually. Why would you rush to the next city and give the person who's on this train, who probably did this, an extra excuse to escape? You'd be giving them the opportunity of a lifetime. Slow the train down and keep them here until you find them.
Unfortunately, that is not something the conductor would ever consider.
Then continue as scheduled.
Ye-
Don't speed it up.
Wait,
Either way, we're still a few days away from the next city, aren't we?
2
you're telling me the
days.
conductor isn't gonna make an exception for zombies?
No, he has held a reputation for 200 years of being perfectly on time or early.
Yet again, this train is older than I thought it was.
Ever since he took over,
Okay,
the
so
train
wait.
has never once been late.
So out of character. So does he mean literally 200 years or does he mean 200 Porath years?
200 actual years.
So the train isn't as old as Kennedy now thinks it is because she's thinking that he's talking in Porath years.
No, Horath doesn't. I'm trying to let you figure this out in character, but it's just going to keep getting more confusing in character.
Well, you can wait until Kennedy finds the apples.
Of
Well,
course, of course.
with what you're understanding in character, or trying to logic in character, is going against what I'm trying to explain. And I don't want to just say the exact thing without your character figuring out.
Yeah, which is fine. That's why I said we can save this conversation for whenever we find the apples
But
because if they're
you said
dust,
initially it was. You said initially it was older than you thought, and then when it was stated that it's longer than you initially thought, you said it was shorter than you thought.
I think we're on different pages of the same book. So Kennedy thinks that Porath years are like millennia. She thinks there's like 1,000 years is 1 year. Because there's like the two dates that you gave us in the last session were like 1,200 years apart. Porath says she's been here for 2 years. So then the guard is talking about the train. The train has a 200-year reputation for being on time, or the conductor does anyway. And then he said something about 160 years a couple of minutes ago. So Kennedy is thinking, oh, that must be an exceedingly long amount of time, because if Porath thinks that 2 years or like 1,000 years is 2 years, then 200 years must be an insane amount of time. And then I asked if it was um like Porath years, where like 1,000 years equals 1 year, or if it was actual years, and you said actual years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. This train, in character knowledge, was started before the turn of the era. More than a millennia before the turn of the era. So this train is as old as Porath is saying.
Yeah. So the train is older than Kennedy thinks it is, but maybe not quite as
Yes.
old as she's thinking it is.
Yeah. The
Complicated.
events that this captain is talking about is related to actual time varying on a kept day-to-day basis. Whereas Porath just never bothered to care, really.
Oh, so Porath doesn't know that time moves differently inside of the train, as assumed by Kennedy, but the guard just basically confirmed it for Kennedy.
Yes, the guard can tell based on outside effects and changes, whereas
Porath would never have a reason to leave.
Porath, yeah, they never had a reason to bother with that.
Hmm.
So that did confirm what Kennedy was thinking, in
Okay,
that manner of speaking.
so does Kennedy understand that he's talking about actual years versus Porath years, or...
That's up to you to decide.
Well, I mean, if I don't have to drill him for it, then I'm not gonna. I mean, if you're gonna let me just decide that Kennedy understands that, then...
I mean, you can ask him.
Maybe we should finish the interrogation first.
Vale, was it?
Yes, that is correct.
Just so I have all parts, if necessary, what happened on your end of the interaction with the reanimating body, shall I say?
Me and Kennedy, we came across it in a room with a lot of windows. Uh, it was laying on the ground, cold as ice, and not moving. Seemed to be dead. We went and grabbed Astre and asked her to look around more, which is when she found the book. Uh, and then afterwards, she went to go find a doctor or you, and that was when the bracelet started to flash red, and then the body stood up, started to scream, and uh, you showed up shortly after.
All right, thank you.
Well, but the bracelet was a ruby, if that matters.
Yes. Kind of holds the bracelet in his hand. Hmm.
Hmm.
I have a proposition for you all.
Go
Your
on.
assistance in this could be quite beneficial, seen as, from what I'm understanding and gathering, and it looked like last night, you had no involvement in the death of this person initially. If you're able to help me track down and locate who did this, and bring them to justice, I will have Bark here bring you all to Ruby rank.
Does this mean we can expect your cooperation as well?
Of course.
Oh, great. That's good enough for me,
Um,
honestly.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I want this person off the train too because that's one less thing for us to worry about. So,
Oh,
it seems
personally, I
like
don't care. I just like the idea that this one has to cooperate with us as much as he might hate it.
Sounds like a deal.
I think we can make this work.
So it does sound like this was done by magic. I suggest one of the spellcasters would be a good start to ask around for. I do know
How
there
many
is
spellcasters are
several.
on this train?
You have one standing right next to you. Two, actually, I believe.
Well...
Or I am fairly certain that at least this one nodding to Kennedy, was not the one that did it. So, where would we be able to find the rest of the spellcasters?
Scattered throughout. Our conductor is a spellcaster as well.
Aren't
One
spellcasters
of
good at
our
finding other spellcasters?
Are you
Yeah.
saying you don't have one in your group?
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay.
This
No,
kid
she
just
is
runs
gone.
away. No. He looks dead serious now at you, Cordovan, in a very stern tone. Are you telling me you do not have one among your ranks?
Didn't we? Wait, I'm confused. Out of character. Remind me what everybody's classes are.
It is on the sheets and list, so
Oh, I didn't think I had access to those.
you should.
Hang
You
on.
should have access to look at everyone's
Yeah.
character
Okay,
sheet.
I can see it now. I can see it now.
Well, to be
There
fair,
we
you haven't really seen Vale do anything. You know, you see his blades, but you haven't seen him do anything. But you
Yeah,
probably would
'cause-
know that Kennedy and Estrella have some kind of magic, or at least Kennedy, because she did fix that match.
Oh yeah.
That
Kennedy
was
is a
Estrella.
warlock.
Oh, it's Estrella. Oh, okay.
Well, Kennedy is a warlock, and Estrella is a sorcerer. So, yeah, I mean, we do have uh some mages in our group.
So then I do not see why you need another sorcerer to help you.
I didn't say we did. I'm just saying that. Uh, no, I'm just asking because I mean I don't
Besides,
know.
there is one also right in front of you. Your silence tells me you do not understand.
Like out of character. I'm just trying to make sure I know what you mean. Like you're saying the guard is magical as well.
No, not the guard.
Oh.
Vale, if you could claim that character when you get a chance.
Yes.
That way I can actually bring it up on the DM screen list that I have. And then everyone will be able to see just how powerful Bark really is.
I have claimed it.
All right, thank you, Seth. Oh, I guess it's not actually going to show up on there.
Oh. Okay then.
I think I might need to finish up doing some stuff on the character sheet. Okay. Yeah, that should work for now, I guess. It'll all work just fine. If you still have not yet figured it out, Cordovan, it is your bird friend.
That would actually explain why they're able to punch holes in these freaking bracelets.
They did make the tool that allowed them to.
Yeah, that makes sense. They just seem pretty magical.
Oh, you have no idea.
I think I'm starting to, given that apparently they are reanimating the dead. I think I'm starting to get some idea, but if there's more, feel free to tell me.
Are you accusing Bark of reanimating the dead?
No, I'm just saying, like, it clearly had some kind of reaction. Again, I wasn't there. I'm just going off of what I'm hearing right now. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, if you can say for sure that the bracelets
Anyways,
have nothing to do with it, that'd be,
they do not.
Do you know
Not
what
the
does then?
bracelets themselves. I do not, which is why I'm asking for assistance in finding out the reason.
But you know there is some kind of magic involved.
How else
Is
do
that
you
correct?
reanimate a corpse?
I don't know. I've never tried.
My thought exactly.
I mean, I'm more.
Anyways,
Yeah, go ahead.
that is all I have to ask any of you. I will as well be looking further into this matter.
Yeah, I'm glad that somebody's looking into it because yeah, it's concerning.
Of course it is.
Where'd everybody go?
Sorry. I was looking over something. Uh, so you just want us to speak to all the mages on board?
Hmm. Not necessarily speak to them, but more gather information about their abilities. The ones we can narrow down who would have the ability to resurrect a body are ones we wish to have more in-depth investigations on.
And how would we identify these mages?
Well, normally I would say detect magic is a very useful spell, but I do not recommend that on the train unless you wish to go blind.
You have a different suggestion then?
I'm back.
You could always try and challenge one to a duel.
I'm back. Who are we fighting?
No one yet.
No, we were just talking about since we got to investigate these mages, how are we supposed to identify mages? You know,
Ooh,
because well, he just said don't use detect magic. So I'm asking what should we use, and he just said, well, duel them. And
Um,
there's gotta be some other way.
okay, so the guard said right before I left, he said that there are 2 people in the room who can cast magic, right?
He believes there's 2.
Well, Kennedy knows one of those is her.
And the other one, you missed it, but it was Bark.
The other one was confirmed as Bark.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that was confirmed like out in the open, can Kennedy do like an experimental Arcana check to see if she can detect Bark's magic?
Yeah.
How's a 22?
Oh
wow.
yeah. They're flooded over in magic.
Okay, so that works, which means Kennedy can answer that question. But is she going to?
Wait, what question?
How do you find them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The reason why I say don't use detect magic is because it gives auras off. The
Yeah,
amount of
that's
magic on this train would be such an overpowering aura, you wouldn't be able to see anything. Arcana checks allow you to basically do the same thing without an aura.
kind of pinpoint it, yeah.
Yeah. Detect magic is mainly a generalized use, which is why it lasts for a little bit. And it also gives off a glow to you alone. Whereas in Arcana checks, you can check if it's arcane magic being used.
Okay, so if that's the case, then Kennedy can definitely find these mages, as long as she
Oh
rolls
yeah,
high enough.
absolutely. hmm And as
Well,
long
that's a
as there
relief.
is something active on them.
Right.
That's definitely a relief. I was worried we'd have to fight all of them.
However, there are some who only use magic when it's necessary.
Would Kennedy get an advantage on those since she is a magic caster looking for other magic casters?
If they have used something recently, yes. If they have not, it would be a normal roll.
Okay, so that would be up to your discretion, case by case. Alright,
Yes, case by case. And I would let you know.
I gathered that much. Alright, so yeah, the first thing I heard whenever I got back is you can try and fight them. So Kennedy's just gonna kind of snort, like, that's not gonna be very effective.
Yeah, I would definitely advise against fighting any mages, especially those that are strong enough to, might I remind you, raise the dead.
Well, you know, there's always more than one way to skin a cat.
I would
Not a
really
huge fan of
reconsider
that
that
phrase.
wording. Yeah, I would really reconsider that wording.
I'm not so concerned about the wording so much as the meaning. And since you both understood me, I gather it was effective.
I did understand, yes.
I mean, yeah, there's just got to be a more appropriate way to phrase that.
Well, while we're speaking in idioms, and she pauses for a second and lifts a hand, and some like little bolts of static appear between her fingers. It takes one to know one, doesn't it?
Ticket.
Huh?
True.
Exactly.
As she does the same thing
I'm just gonna
and
pretend. And
pushes her hand forwards towards you in a very odd looking high five.
um, Kennedy's not going to accept that high five because it'll probably have like an explosion attached to it, but but she's gonna nod in Bark's direction, which is the most acknowledgement you're gonna get out of her right now.
All right. I do believe it is a good time to take a short break from the session really quick just so I can go feed my obnoxiously annoying cat.
Shadow! Shadow! Shadow!
I think my
So
my
yeah,
dad's.
I'll be
I
back
think
in
my
about
dad's
10
actually
minutes.
about. My dad's actually about to be home, so I should probably start wrapping this up anyway. Um, Plus we don't want to get too far ahead when there's people not here today.
Sessions
Yeah,
usually.
same thing's gonna happen for next week with Australia. They're gonna get crash course rundown by the players
Okay.
because it makes more sense in my mind for the players to explain what happened as if they were explaining it in character to someone who was unconscious for a certain an amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Estray is like okay with that.
I don't
I
see
mean,
why they wouldn't be. Also, go
you,
feed
you
Shadow!
were okay with
Shadow!
it. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah, damn well I'm right.
All right. Well, I better get going then. I will see you guys next week.
Okay, you're gonna miss like a whole 2 hours though. Are you sure?
2 hours.
Yeah, session is
Man.
4 hours.
Yes,
Gal said
it
we're just
goes to
taking a
like
break.
yeah, taking a break so I can go feed my obnoxiously loud.
Yeah,
Shadow! Shadow!
it's like 9:30 here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 8:30 here.
Yeah. Well, I try to keep myself on a fairly reasonable schedule because, my dad works 9 to 5 and I want to at least have some time with him today.
I
Um,
mean, no one's telling you that you have to stay. I just wanted you to be aware of, the situation.
I mean, if Estrella's gonna be missing stuff too, then it's not like you guys are gonna have to really go out of your way to explain stuff to me.
Okay.
But I mean, if it's gonna be a problem, then just I don't have to.
I don't think it'll be a problem either way. I just am trying to make you aware of the situation. Of the session being 4 hours instead of 2 hours.
Man, why does it have to be so long?
Well, because we only meet once a week.
Yeah.
It would be 8 hours if we only met once a month.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, my first groups that I had for D&D, whenever I first started DMing, we would have people who would join the session, play an entire session, go to work, and then come back home, and we were still in session. They worked like an 8 to 12 hour shift. Like, seriously.
I cannot focus on one thing for that long.
There are people that went
I
to
don't know how you
bed
guys do
and
it.
woke up and slept like a whole like 7, 8 hours, and we were still in session.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. But I guess that's impressive.
I mean, I don't think it was impressive per se. I'm just saying there are people who can play D&D for a very long time. 4 hours is not a lot. It's actually a very short amount of time because if you think about it, between all of the time that we spend talking to each other and talking out of character, we actually get very little done in 4 hours.
What's wrong?
Yeah, so far you guys have been through 3 sessions, or this is your third session, and you've gone 3 days.
Yeah, and pretty much everything can be summarized in about a paragraph.
Yeah.
What's the matter? You good?
You good? You good, Vale?
Yeah. My leg or my knee was like hurting, but I'm good.
That
All right.
happens if I lock my legs, my knees. I lock my
That's
knees.
kind of what it
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
do
I
that.
do that way too often.
Please don't do that.
Ugh.
I advise against that.
What if I want to? Huh?
Well, that's a good way to pass out if you lock both your knees.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I made that mistake when I was weightlifting once.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So the-
Babe, you. My stream's muted, so it's not gonna hear this. But you remember how much I told you I lift, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was waiting for a spotter for far too long, and I was kind of stood there with locked legs. God damn it, fucking phone call. I'll be right.
Okay.
It's his cat saying, "I'm still hungry."
You know, I wouldn't put it past the Shadow. Yeah, Gal's cat is
How?
Gal's cat is very particular. He wants
Hmm.
what he wants when he wants it, and he gets it.
You gotta spoil him.
Well, and he's an old boy too, so they do spoil him.
Uh,
He's like 12 or 14.
dang. That's a little old.
Yeah, for cats. It's pretty old. But he still acts like a kitten. He does this adorable thing where he just like flops over. Like you're petting him and like he'll just like flop over. Just like all of his weight, just all of a sudden dead rock.
That's awesome.
It makes this audible sound when he like hits like a pillow or something. So I failed an exam today, guys.
Ooh,
I
it's
got
not
a
fun.
I got a
Okay.
42
God.
Ooh, that's really not fun.
out of 100.
So a solid B minus.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe in like Nordic runes.
What's it
Anyways,
for? Oh,
Marketing.
oh, jeez.
back to story.
Alright.
So I was waiting for a spotter for like a full minute
Hmm.
with 325 pounds on my shoulders.
Oh,
Now, keep in mind, I also at this time weighed only 135 pounds.
dang. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still all legs to this day for muscle. And no one was there. And I just stood there like, come on, someone. And then next thing I know, I'm on my stomach on the wooden base of the lift area.
Dang.
Well, at least you didn't get terribly hurt. That could have gone worse.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, because I was so thin at the time, and you know, I had 45 plates on there. They're the big ass plates. The bar rolled right over me.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was perfectly fine. Had the clips on. Bar bounced,
Well,
hit the ground, bounced, and just rolled over me.
well, perfectly fine, minus the drop in blood pressure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. Oh, and my legs were locked open, by the way, not closed. So, yeah, my knees buckled forward as I went down.
Ooh, that's not fun.
No, not at all. So, you staying with us a bit longer?
Owen?
I mean, if you guys really want me to, I probably can, but
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're part of the team too, you know.
I mean
Besides,
that's
who
that's
else am
nice
I
of
going
you.
to have random people chase after?
Okay, that does not make me want to stick around.
Who else is gonna get questioned for tickets?
That gives me like IRL anxiety.
But in all honesty, who of you guys has a backstory that could have random people call you out?
Hopefully everybody, because you told us to do that.
Guilty.
Random people?
Guilty.
Well, are
Not,
they really
not.
random?
Okay, you know what? You're a whole nother situation, Lyric.
He was about to say.
Your eyes
Cheap.
glow. That's a whole. Anyone would call you out. Not Cordovan has people specifically who would out of the blue.
You asked about the backstory.
I did,
Yeah,
and I'm really fucking with
Yeah.
all of y'all with yours.
Baby got
yeah,
backstory.
and my point is Kennedy's backstory is like perfectly written for people to just randomly call her the fuck out.
Like, hey, why do you have glowing eyes?
Fuck, I don't know, go ask your mom.
Are you some kind of devil or something?
Only in your dreams.
I'll take it.
Plus her like face tattoos and stuff aren't helping her appearance when it comes to being scary.
And either is the fact that you're a warlock.
Well, yeah, but that's not visible, you know what I mean?
Or is it?
Sorry, the fact that you have a goat's ass.
Well, I mean, she is a goat, so.
That's why I'm saying that.
So, anyhoozle.
I mean, really, the one thing I'm concerned about is, you know, again, my dad works a normal shift, and I can't be loud because his room is right next to mine.
Right.
I really don't want to keep him like awake.
I mean, you could just turn your microphone gain up and then just talk quieter.
Well, maybe. I don't know if that would work, but I could look at that option.
But I mean, as long as you're not outright yelling, we can all hear you just fine, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's good.
Huh?
What?
No, yeah. We can hurry.
Alright, I'm gonna get back on the stream. So,
Yeah.
left off, he was dismissing basically all three of you um, out to whatever you'd like to go do next. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome to. If not, you are more than welcome to carry on with what he assigned, quote unquote, assigned you to do.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
Kennedy's gonna
going to
try
switch
and.
over. Okay, go for it.
Kennedy's gonna try and go find some heckin' apples.
All right. There are some people who might know that.
Oh, actually, wait a second. She has some questions for the guard person.
Of course. What can I help you with?
So, you made a reference to some time periods. I just want to clear something up. I have this
Mm-hmm. Of course.
theory. So, I mentioned before, there's someone who thinks that time isn't the same. And I just your references you made, are those train years or years?
What do you mean train year?
Well, I have this suspicion that time doesn't move the same on the train as it does outside of the train. Although, for whatever reason, I can't determine.
Hmm. What year do you believe it to be?
Fuck, I have to check.
I forgot.
It's 1365 of the Cloval era.
Mm-hmm. That
But
is correct.
the person whom I'm speaking of believes that it's still the year 2027 in the Trunal era.
They still believe it is the last year of that era.
Yes, roughly, if I had to guess, about 1,000 years ago.
Hmm. A bit longer than that.
Anyhow, all of this is very far from the question. Uh, So, if that person who lives on this train believes that the year is, well, more than 1,000 years ago, then wouldn't it make sense that time on the train and time outside the train move differently?
Hmm. That would be a sound theory.
So which are you referring to?
The actual year it is currently.
That doesn't answer my question. Is it years outside the train or years on the train? Are we
It is
talking about?
currently 1365 of the Cleoval era.
Yes, outside the train. But inside the train is a different story. I don't think we're on the same page here. Are we talking about 20,000 years or 200 years?
If you wish to know exactly how long this train has been running, if that is similar to what you are asking, this train has been running for over 2,000 years. It has been through two eras.
You're not going to tell me yes or no, are you?
That would be the conductor's choice.
Hmm.
He would know the most about that.
So your offer to answer my questions was useless?
With a question I cannot answer, yes.
That is certainly a question you can answer. Never mind. Is Bark still in the room?
Yes.
She's gonna look over at Bark and she's gonna gesture to the guard and she's just gonna kind of sigh, like, is he always this frustrating?
Take it.
Thank you for confirming, Bark. I have some apples to find. That will tell me what I need to know. And she's
Apple.
just gonna kind of storm out.
Apple.
Wait, I still don't understand what the
in
apples
a
have to
perfect
do.
mirror, in a perfect mimic of your voice, too.
um, so
Out of
Porath.
character. Yeah, I'm trying to understand what relevance the apples have.
So when Kennedy brought this information to Porath over like, hey, I think time moves differently for you,
Mm-hmm.
Porath gave her an option if she so chose to seek it out to confirm or deny this, by sending her on a little mini mission to go and find some apples that Porath said should have long since turned to dust if time moved the way it was supposed to.
Hmm.
So now Kennedy is on this mission to go and find these apples.
I
So
don't know why I just thought of this, but I imagine Kennedy finding the apples is literally just like Minecraft golden apples.
um I do
Who
think
knows?
the
Maybe
apples were described as red. I think they were already described as red apples.
they were
Um
described as perfectly ripe red apples.
yeah. Um but anyway, so if Bark is going to call after Kennedy, she's going to kind of look over her shoulder but not stop walking. Well, if you know where they are, come on.
Apple.
Well, we will look for these mages. See if we can find any information for you.
And after she says apple, she bolts off towards you and then past you.
Oh,
All right. I guess Kennedy's going to follow her.
And she is moving. She's moving at about 200 feet per round speed.
Okay. Well, that's a little faster than Kennedy can follow, but she's going to do her best. Um I guess if you guys wanted to follow and find these apples really quickly, Kennedy can bring them to Porath, and then we'll be in a bar with a whole bunch of people that Kennedy can check for magic. Or presumably with a whole bunch of people. There's always been other people in the bar when we've been there. Just as an out of character suggestion. That way we don't have to split up.
yeah. Sounds good.
What say you, Owen?
Well, I don't think in character that I have actually been told about this apple thing, but
No, but
I imagine if I knew about it,
would
we
there
might as
be
well.
would there be a reason for Cordovan to want to be separated from his guildmates?
Uh,
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not like you can bet on anything or try and do magic shows.
I mean,
well,
if by
no,
all means you don't have to follow. That's why I'm asking you. So
well,
like,
I'm trying to think of like what other options I would even have.
well, you can try. I mean, you're a magician, right? That's like your whole character. So like, you can try and find some people to like perform tricks for and do like performance checks for tips, or as long as it's okay with Gal, I'm just offering suggestions. You can go get a drink. You can go see what other train cars there are, because so far we've only had dining cars and housing cars and bar carts explained to us. I'm sure there's other things on the train. Um,
Yeah, well, I feel like it would probably be beneficial to know in character about the Apple Quest.
well, Kennedy did find. She did say out loud, "I have some apples to go find."
Yeah, so I guess I then would just ask Vale
Hmm.
about the situation. Like if Vale knows what's going on.
About what? The apples?
Yeah,
Yeah, like where's she going?
Vale wasn't
I'm not
present for the conversation
too
with
sure of
Porath.
it.
Oh, so you
But
don't know either, huh?
not really. But if we follow her, perhaps we will find out.
Yeah, I mean, It
I mean,
shouldn't be too hard to tail after, but
true.
we better be careful or we're gonna lose them.
And let her go.
You
She's the
say
only one that has magic, so
Yeah, I
it'll
would
be.
imagine that's probably somebody we want to stick around.
we have to be careful or we're gonna
Ha,
lose them,
yeah.
you say to the fastest moving member of the party.
Well, is
Well, he
it?
hasn't.
Didn't you say that Barkus is going really really fast?
Bark is going 200 feet per round.
Yeah.
How
so
long is a round?
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
As
Whoa,
They are-
Kennedy.
yeah,
They are basically now 5 train cars ahead of you.
yeah. See, this is why I'm saying we might lose him.
All
Like-
of the doors are just slamming open in a blur. As you look down the hallway and see Bark just slowly vanishing.
And Kennedy futilely
with that.
attempting to chase her.
You can use the run action.
Well, yeah, but
Where's that?
I mean, even 70 feet per second, or like 6 seconds is not.
The run action, you're thinking of dash. Run is generally out of combat. It allows you to move 4 times.
I see.
That's
looking
still
for
not fast enough.
action.
That's only 140.
Still a lot better than 70.
Agreed.
Wait, so that's how fast Bark is going. How is Kennedy moving that fast?
Kennedy has
They're
a
not.
35-foot movement speed.
What?
Yeah,
She's
so
not
I
going
guess-
as fast, but she's like slowly behind.
like not.
Okay.
I only have
If-
30 feet. Is that a satyr thing?
Yeah, because
Yes.
Kennedy has hooves.
Bark
come on.
Bark is moving at 50-foot movement speed,
Oh my god, yeah.
multiplied times 4 for the run action.
And they have a head start. Oh, that's not looking good.
Actually, she started off behind
Yeah.
Kennedy.
1 round behind.
Either way, we
Yeah.
follow.
We'll eventually catch
And these
up
train cars are 120 feet each.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, we try and follow, I'd say. That's really all we can do. I can't guarantee anything at this point.
Yeah. So we'll eventually catch up to Bark.
as you guys enter through the second train car from where you guys currently are, if anyone wanted to stop at the barkeep there, they're welcome to.
What barkeep would this be?
Oh, homie.
Yeah,
Achilles,
What?
Archelius.
the tiefling.
Oh, I don't think I met this character yet.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like,
He,
you
no-
guys act
he,
like.
he looks at all 3 of you as you pass by.
He's a really flirty tiefling.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and Estrella fell for them instantly.
Of course.
I mean, let's be honest, when they look like that one, if you haven't seen the picture, their picture is in the Discord world
It's,
place.
let me
Yeah.
try and find it.
It should be the 3rd picture up. And yes, you all see him. There's no check for that. So he doesn't say anything since you all look like you're running to something very
Found it.
important. Yes, that is what he looks like.
I mean,
Cool.
I don't know about important, but Kennedy does want to get this Apple business sorted.
He believes that it seems important. So
Yeah, I mean, there's not many reasons people would be running on a train, right?
not really.
By the way, I find him super sus, but that's just me.
Hmm.
Oh, racist? Just to see a tiefling?
No, it's the way he talks.
Yeah, I did upload, I think, the session, and if not, it's in my VOD. You are more than welcome to listen to what he says from last session.
He's sus as fuck. Anyway, um,
Well, he is
yeah.
red, like the imposter from Among Us.
That's true.
So, so we just raced through his car, and then I'm assuming a few cars down we've encountered Porath's car.
That would be about 40 cars down.
Yeah, which
Well,
car is
not
he
40,
in?
about
Like, what number?
30 cars down. He is in the 6th car. Sorry, 5th car.
And we were in the... we were just in the 3rd, so...
So yeah, you have 38 cars to Porath's, by which you pass across 2 different viewing decks, a library, 2 different bars, and 2 restaurants. Train cars.
That doesn't sound like 38
There
things.
are, there's a lot more through them. There's yeah, I need to add. Honestly, probably what I'm going to do after this session is make a list in World Place for every train car,
Hmm.
so that way there's no confusion.
Yeah, I think that would actually be pretty darn helpful.
Alright, so we go through his train
Right.
car.
I know why there's such a gap in between in between everything. I believe I need to upload some photos. I do need to upload some photos for you guys in World Place.
Of
Okay.
what?
So,
What kind of photos?
so are the
Mages.
intrusive thoughts winning, babe?
Hmm?
Are the intrusive thoughts winning?
What do you mean?
Seems like we kind of veered off topic here. We're chasing a Kenku through train cars.
You're still chasing the Kenku.
Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
As you guys run through the cars, you do see a few open doors across them from other rooms and all that.
Hang on a sec, guys.
Okay.
No worries.
No, you cannot steal.
Mhm. You
That
mean
is what the inside
what
of the
I've
room is
just
like.
stolen?
Your hand gets shocked as you grab something that doesn't belong to you, as if a shocking grasp was set upon your hand by an invisible force.
Youch.
No, Bale is not a thief.
Oh,
We're a
I'm back. I
Kennedy.
had to take care.
not a
I had
thief,
to take care of
the
something.
thief.
What did I
Yes,
miss?
so those are the 2 different train cars that are also sleepers that you see strewn about.
Nice.
Are the
Is
rooms
there, like,
open if
people
they're
in them?
uninhabited?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yes. However, if you try and cross them, the door closes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they all the front cars have that safety mechanism. Nothing can leave if it is not in the hand of the person's room or in the person whose room it belongs to.
Makes sense. Alright, so
So,
so
you guys eventually, after a multitude of rounds of just straight running, get into Porath's car, where you see them talking to a bunch of people in front of the bar. And there is a Kenku on one side.
is
Another
it
one?
the Kenku?
Roll
No.
perception.
Wait a minute. I thought Bark was with Kennedy the whole time.
No, we're chasing
Bark
Bark,
was
but
leaving Kennedy behind.
We were
Oh
chasing
yeah,
Bark, but she's much faster than us.
That's right. That's right.
21.
It is not the same Kenku.
Kennedy's not even gonna stop.
They're multiplying.
I am being stared at by a cat.
Shadow, Shadow! Yeah, Kennedy's not even gonna stop. She doesn't know that Kenku, she doesn't care.
How similar are Kenkus? Like, is there a lot of variation among the species?
So some people say that there's supposed to be like different bird species and stuff, but I think canonically, they're like as per the books, they're all crows.
Do they all want tickets?
No. That's just specific to Bark.
So
Kenku's,
if we pass by this new Kenku, it's not asking for tickets.
I mean, that's up to Gal, but Kenkus were cursed and are unable to speak for themselves, so the only thing that they can do is mimic. And someone taught Bark the word ticket so that she could do her job.
And also all the other words that Bark has said.
Yes, some of which she learned from us. Or maybe
Mhm.
not learned from us, but mimics from us.
Heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the ability to mimic what they've heard perfectly. However, they cannot make their own words in a line of their own,
Like Bumblebee.
which is why they were one word responding.
Yeah. So it's up to Gal if that other Kenku is gonna harass us about tickets, but I don't think so.
Suddenly, the Kenku jumps out in front of Cordovan only.
Ticket!
Wait, are you actually serious right now?
Roll a dexterity save to not fall on your ass. No.
What? No, you're joking? Okay.
Or am I?
Yes,
Like,
she's
please.
kidding. Be nice.
But no, if any of you want to try and listen to what's going on, I'll give you the chance. You will lose time to the rest of them, though.
Yeah, aren't we in a hurry?
Yes and no. I mean, you're in
There,
a hurry if you want to try and keep up with Bark, but I mean, it's not a necessarily pressing matter to all three of you.
yeah, there are a finite number of cars. We will eventually catch up to the Kenku, but I already stated that Kennedy's not stopping. So, if you
Yeah.
guys want to
Kennedy
listen,
just keeps on going, so it's up to you.
If we're trying to follow Kennedy and Kennedy's not stopping, it probably wouldn't make sense for us to stop either.
But for the same reason, I mean, if you as your character would ration, oh, I would want to listen to what's going on here. This sounds important.
You can
Then
always come back.
yeah, but
They may or may not be there, though, the same
and the
people.
conversation may not be going at that time. It's not like time
Can we
freezes
hear-
when the players aren't here.
Can we hear anything as we're passing by?
If you're trying to keep your speed up, you're not going to notice anything.
Well, I
You
think
are
we
going
are
to
trying
have
keep
to
our speed
basically,
up.
then you're just going to keep on going and not hear a damn thing.
We can't make any of it out? Okay.
No, you're moving too fast. Your footsteps are too heavily thudding
Well, then that would
because you're
actually
running.
be...
So
Yeah, because I guess then we wouldn't even have a reason to stop. Because if we don't hear anything, we wouldn't hear anything that sounds interesting enough to make us want to stop.
That makes sense.
you do realize, though, the last time that you guys came through here, no one was here. So, but that is that is up to you if you want to stop or not. You said you were going to continue.
That was...
I believe I heard.
Well, 2 out of the
That's
3 of
what-
us, Vale hasn't said what Vale wants to do yet.
Where is Vale? Are we also here?
Yes.
Vale is
He's just so
basically right
stealthy.
next to you.
Okay.
You did not roll stealth.
I
He's
just meant
like the
in the
shadow.
He is
I just
literally
meant,
your
like, in
shadow.
the
He is
call.
right behind you.
Shadow, shadow.
Vel falls on his side just like shit. Uh, yes, let's continue.
All right.
Okay, so we keep going, and then what?
About 15 or so more train cars of just doors being slammed open in front of you. You see that there's a Kenku just standing there.
Do I have to roll perception again to see if it's Bark?
Ticket.
Okay, it's Bark.
But what if they all know how to say that?
Not like that. Alright, so Kennedy's gonna stop in front of Bark, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to say she's probably pretty well winded after all of this chase. Um,
Bark's just kind of
Yeah,
standing there
I would
looking
be
at you.
too.
Ticket.
okay, so is this where the apples are?
Bark shrugs.
Barry actually didn't know this entire time.
You didn't know if there were apples?
She shrugs again.
Do you have any idea if there are apples on this train?
She turns around, puts her winged arms out. Apple.
Is she pointing the way that they came or the way they're going?
The way they're going, and she is pointing at this big just pile in front of her.
Of apples?
Roll perception.
God damn it. $25. That was a nat
These are your
20. 25.
peaches.
Oh.
Dang.
So,
This is your pile of 700 peaches.
is
Oh.
this a well-lit train car?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kennedy's just gonna kind of like, oh, that's where those are. Okay. Bark, these aren't apples. Do you know what these are?
Apple.
Peaches.
Peaches. Apple. Apple.
Peaches. One of these
Kind
is
of
a
just
peach.
smiling at them.
One of these is a peach, and many of these are
Apple.
peaches. No.
Apple.
Kennedy's gonna pinch the bridge of her nose. Can you show me where the apples are?
She walks past the crates of peaches.
I guess Kennedy's gonna follow her again.
Opens the next door.
You've got to be kidding me. They're not even here?
Goes into the next train car, which is another storage car.
Bark, are you sure you know what an apple is?
Red.
Well, yes, apples are red.
Green.
Sometimes.
Apple.
Okay.
And she's going to walk over to a crate and pull out a dragon fruit. Apple.
Bark. Bark. That's not what I'm looking for.
She's gonna put it down, reach over, and pull out a banana.
That's definitely not what I'm looking for.
Yellow.
That is
Apple.
yellow, but not what that's a banana bark.
Kind of looks around. She walks over to another crate, lifts it up,
Take it.
brings it over to you. Apple.
Kennedy's gonna lift the lid of the crate.
It is yellow apples.
Well, these aren't the right apples, but these are apples. Do you know where there are more of these in a different color?
She sets the crate down, arms out, apple, and spins.
Okay.
Bye bye, and zooms off to the front of the train again.
Thanks. Kennedy just rolled a 6 on investigation.
Nice.
What's your passive?
Perception?
Investigation.
14.
Yeah, you can tell on the side of the crates they're actually labeled
Oh, nice.
in this train car.
Oh, and that explains a lot because Bark is illiterate. Okay.
Yeah.
So, just have to find...
The other two are now arriving. Oh, and the two of you see Bark running past you at 200 feet per round again. They are zooming.
Great. Well, I guess that's the last we're going to see of that bird for a while. Hopefully.
Perhaps. Until we need our ticket clicked again.
After you two catch your breath, I could use your help inspecting some of these boxes around here. I'm looking for red apples. I'll explain why.
Yeah, please do.
Very well.
Actually, I'd like to know what we're looking for.
I'm trying to
And
prove
why?
a theory to someone that I have. There's an inhabitant of this train that believes that they've only been here for 2 years, and I think they've been here for well over 1,000. So, the thing that will determine whether or not they're correct or I'm correct is finding some red apples in here.
Well, then let us look. I will look for
As you guys look, you realize that most of these boxes are labeled.
Most of.
All right, hang on.
And
I will
we-
be right back.
Shadow, shadow! You were saying, Owen?
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask Gal if like we could roll anything to, read all the boxes. But if Gal's not even here right now,
I'm gonna bet that would be an investigation check.
well, I just gotta wait for us to confirm that.
So, generally, Gal could always decide differently, but I'm just for the sake of information and filling the silence. So, generally, perception checks are for things that you're not sure exist, and investigation checks are for things that you do know exist. So, since you know the boxes exist, but you want to look at them closer, that would be an investigation check. But since you don't know if the apples exist, that would be a perception check. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So if you're looking specifically for apples amongst the like closed crates and all of that, and you're not sure if the apples exist, that would be a perception check to see if you can find those, because you'd be rifling around in items that you're not really looking at. But then
Well,
investigation,
do we know for sure that they exist? Because if what was his name? Portia or what was it?
Porath.
Porath.
Porath, that's right. Porath told
Hypothetically,
us
it
that
does.
apples might actually just be dust now. That we're not sure if they still exist.
Right, but we do know that these crates exist, which is why it would be an investigation check, because rather than wasting the time to check every single crate for its contents, you would just look at the label on the side, which is much faster. Which would be
Okay,
a little bit closer of an inspection.
makes sense.
Or like for example, you would do a perception check if you were in like a market or something to see if you could see like a pickpocket, but because like you don't know that a pickpocket exists in a market. It's a logical place for one to
That's
be.
right.
But then if you wanted to check someone's pockets that's like say already dead or something, just for an example, that would be an investigation because you know the person exists, you know they have pockets, but you don't know that there's anything in them.
Roll
And
investigation to see how well you all read.
Yeah, see.
There you go.
I was explaining the difference between perception and investigation checks while you were gone.
Yeah, perception would be to tell if you can see anything revolving near an apple.
So
Where an investigation, you're specifically looking for apple.
Yeah.
So this is an active check, not the passive.
Yeah.
Yes, active. You're specifically looking for them.
Well, unless you
Alright.
pull a me and roll lower than what your passive is.
Woohoo! 16.
Yippee!
Who would have known that Kennedy is illiterate?
Kennedy. All right. With your 16s, you both find a bunch of apples.
But are they red
Are
apples?
they red? Yeah.
None of them are red.
Huh.
God damn it.
What the heck?
Well, maybe Porath is colorblind.
Or maybe Porath was actually correct that they did turn to dust?
There is no empty box, however.
Maybe
Well,
the box also
the
turned
more-
to dust?
The more likely explanation is that there was red apples here, but it's been so long since he last saw them that they've been replaced with other things.
Are all the apples the same color? Are they all those yellow apples that you said that Bark showed me?
Some are yellow, some are green.
Maybe somebody just ate them. Like, it's not that hard to imagine.
But those are the only two colors of apples. There's nothing weird like a purple apple somewhere in there. I heard that.
Let's see. Is high or low good for all of you?
What? For what?
Low.
Hi.
One for low, one for high.
For what, though?
To answer my
Percentile.
question.
For perception checks?
Percentiles.
Percentile
percentile.
type.
Oh.
High or low,
Oh.
good for you guys.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
think high.
Yeah, we're not clerics.
Nah, there's not. It doesn't seem like it.
Okay, so those are the only two colors of apples.
Seems like it.
Okay, Kennedy's gonna grab one of each and she's gonna start heading towards Porath's car. But like, not running because fuck cardio after all that.
We have two
Or,
spots.
what if we just had Bark run there? Because clearly
Bark-
she can run very
Bark's
fast.
gone.
What? Why?
Yeah, Bark left. You guys came in as
Bark
Bark was
ran
leaving.
past you guys.
She was running so fast we just didn't see her.
Also, you're going to send the least articulate person to go to Porath and explain what's going on with these apples?
That'd be more entertaining.
Poor us.
Oh no, it absolutely would be more entertaining, but it would not get anything done.
We'd
Poor
come
us.
back and be like, "So Porat, did you understand what she said?" It's like, "Fuck no."
And
Um,
Perhaps just like, no,
as
this is not a ticket. This is definitely not a ticket.
Kennedy, as you leave the train car, going back, roll a perception.
Ooh.
God damn it. 8.
Ooh.
Nah, no.
Are we
Keep on walking.
all?
My
As you all leave the train car, roll a perception.
my passive is 15.
Not high enough.
It's still better than
Unfortunate,
an
because
8.
I rolled a 15.
It was perception.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Did we? Oh no, we just rolled investigation.
Yep.
I also have a 15.
We don't see the mind flare hiding behind the curtain.
No, I'm gonna have to give this one to you. Honestly, though, I'll say your passive made it, since it's the same as the rolls. You all notice off to the side of the space in between the train cars, there's a very small outline of a door.
Oh. Should we
The
check that out?
only way you can tell is because it looks like the door isn't closed fully.
Oh, so it just looks like a hole in like interdimensional space.
Something like that. This space between the train cars is completely black for some reason.
That's
You
a
can't tell what's going on.
that's a 7 on Arcana. That's not gonna.
And with Arcana checks, if you can't do magic, you cannot do them. So that's
Yeah.
how I play it. If you don't do magic, you have no reason to know how the magic works.
Makes sense.
But it's just a very, very odd black that you haven't seen before in between these train cars.
Well, that gives Kennedy the heebie-jeebies. She's gonna like visibly shudder.
That is very strange.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a pretty good place for somebody who's up to no good to hide.
Well, why don't you go investigate then, since you're so suspicious?
Why would I do that?
Because you're so suspicious. You seem to know exactly what's behind that door.
I'm saying that's why we should avoid it. Are you even listening to me?
But you didn't say the word avoid.
I mean, don't you agree we should avoid it?
No, I think you should go check it out.
Well, I think we should avoid it. So if you think we should check it out, why don't you do it?
Because that's not how this works.
We could always get Estrella to go. No, no. Kidding.
Maybe Mark,
I
Mark
will
should do it.
allow a roll to happen between the two of you if you want. One persuasion roll against the other
Insight, persuasion versus
insight.
Who
If
rolls
you want to
what?
do it. You would roll insight if you want to do it.
Oh, no
If
need.
not, you can just outright say no.
No need.
may
I got
fail.
an 8.
You have a pretty damn high persuasion. They might fail if they want to do it. No, you would be rolling insight.
Oh, okay.
If you want
try.
to, otherwise you can just outright say no.
If I want to what? Roll?
Yeah, you can choose to roll. But if you do fail, you are going to have to open the door.
Or at least
Or you can
investigate the
just
door.
outright choose to not do it.
Or at least investigate the door. We're not telling you have to open it.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll roll for that. I'll make it fair. Oh no!
Well.
Wait, I changed my mind. I don't want to roll anymore.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, the dice have sealed your fate. Okay, I would like you to role play this out, and the persuasion check goes through correctly. So I'd like to see if you role play this out.
Unfortunately, that's not how this works. See, I'm too pretty to endanger myself that way. Don't you think?
So you admit that there's danger.
No, I'm admitting the possibility of danger and how I don't want to get involved in it, which is why you're going to check it out for me. Oh, my hero.
There's got to be somebody else who can do this, right? Or we could just like not.
Oh, certainly, but the cat probably isn't the best option. And
Oh,
there's,
Why not?
well,
Uh,
because he's a
I'm
cat.
black like the door, so you know what they say about curiosity and the cat.
Oh, oh no. That's actually a good point. Shoot. So, we just have to open the door. That's it, right? That's all you're saying. Just to
Or
be clear.
it is slightly ajar. Maybe just peek, get a little closer, maybe just peek through. I don't know if you even want to open it, but we shouldn't leave it uninvestigated, don't you think?
Yes, perhaps the apples are in there.
I have an idea. So, out of character, I have some like rope in my inventory. If I just like tie the rope around the doorknob, I could open it from a distance.
Does it even have a
Would that be
doorknob, or
allowed?
is it just a hole in space?
Doesn't look like
Well,
it
if-
has a doorknob.
Oh. Well, here's a better idea then. I also have a crowbar in my inventory. I can use the crowbar to open the door. Is that allowed?
You can certainly try.
I don't know how much of a reach that's going to add, but
It should be the same as a standard weapon, I'd imagine. 5 foot?
5 foot max.
Yeah.
but well, that's still better than doing it barehanded, you know?
So if you're gonna do this with that, I would suggest an attack roll.
On the door?
Are you trying to break it, or like
No,
No, I'm just
he's just using
it's
it
just-
instead of his
it's just
hands to just push the
yeah,
door
it's
open.
just slightly ajar, right? So if I have
It looks
something
like
to
it.
So if I have something to extend my reach, I can just try to open it a little bit further so we can see. In case,
Yeah, you can certainly try.
What, do I have to roll anything for that?
No, if you're just gonna do it that little amount. You're not trying to forcibly do it quickly.
No,
Just
and
trying
he
to
wasn't trying to whack
push
the
it
door or
open.
anything like that either, no.
No, I'm just gonna use the edge of the crowbar to just very, very gently push it a little further open. And then right after I do that, I'll just be like, all right, that's done. We can leave now.
How far open do you want to push it?
How far does it open?
All the way 90.
90 what? Like degrees?
Mm-hmm. It'll open fully.
Well, how far would we have to open to see through the door?
I don't
far open do you
see
wanna
why
push it?
you wouldn't be able to see through the door once it's 90 degrees, but
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, what is like the minimum we can open it to just get an idea of what's past the door? That's what I'm saying.
Just
At least halfway.
Okay, well then I'm gonna try and open it halfway. That way I can close it again if we need to.
As you start to open it halfway, you get to the halfway point, and I want you to roll perception.
All right. $13.
All three of you can roll this as well.
Ooh, 18. Ooh, woo.
18.
All three of you notice it.
Notice what?
Sitting in the center of this room
It's an apple.
is a perfectly untouched box.
Does
and
it
it
say
looks-
apples on it?
It looks pristine, as if it hasn't been sitting very long. Like it
Oh,
was
for the
just
love
washed
of...
and set here.
Does it look like the boxes that the rest of the fruit was in?
It's a goddamn
No.
crate of apples.
Well, I mean,
It
this
could
is
be a box of death apples. Or just
I
the
mean,
apples.
this is your quest. You better go get them.
Ah, shit.
Vale, you see on the box
Hmm.
that it says Porath on it.
These are the apples for Porath, though. At least, so it says on the side.
It just says Porath.
I got a 20 to see what fuckery's going on over here.
Whatever
Yeah.
do you mean?
You can definitely tell there's something going on here. I'm gonna have to look up the class or the school for that spell.
That's fine. I don't really care. Is it malicious or is it just sneaky?
Not malicious.
Okay. Yeah.
It is
So
not a danger.
okay. So Kennedy's gonna turn to the two of you, like first one, then the other. Well, I guess does one of you want to hold these apples while I go get those apples?
How about them apples?
Uh, what?
No, nothing. Never mind. I will hold the apples for you. I can hold the bigger one if you would like, or the
Um,
smaller.
Well, she just awkwardly hands you the apples and goes to get the crate of the other red apples.
Keep holding the door with the crowbar just in case like it tries to like shut.
Yeah, so Kennedy's gonna take like the first step into the door like really carefully in case the floor like tries to fall out underneath her or something. And then
As you enter,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
the floor creaks.
she's gonna kind of hesitate, but then she's gonna like step up with her other foot.
As you step with that foot, the floor creaks.
But it doesn't seem like it's gonna like collapse.
No, doesn't seem like it. It seems sturdy, just like it hasn't been used in forever and is bending again for the first time in a long time.
Are you calling Kennedy?
I mean, it would be very much a problem if the floor of a moving train collapsed.
was bending, right? Yeah. Anyway, so the person who in real life is terrified of the floor falling out from underneath her feet, is going to narrate. Is going to narrate the satyr walking and going to get this box of apples.
Each step is another creak in the boards.
Why are you doing this to me?
What if we just took these apples, the apples that we already had, and we just like painted them red?
I think
And so
Porath
you
is a
reach
little
the
bit too
box.
smart for that.
After a few steps.
Kennedy's gonna reach down and pick up the crate and walk back very carefully.
As you start to walk back very carefully, you realize that you can't really see anything now.
Can we see Kennedy?
No.
Oh,
Mm. The apples were a trap.
I do
It's
not
as
think
if
that was
the
very good.
dark that was in the room has been brought to you two. Because neither of you can see each other.
Oh,
What? Why?
Oh shit. Did Kennedy just walk into a demiplane?
No.
A what?
A demiplane. It's a spell, but if you can put
It's
living people
not.
in it, but once you put the living people in it, they can't get out.
Yeah, that would be a problem if it was that.
Yeah.
I do have dark vision if it helps.
Nope.
I also have dark vision. We both do.
Dark
No.
vision does not help.
It says magical darkness.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Can Kennedy see the door?
Perception disadvantage.
Okay. $11.
You can make out where it is
But
based off of where it should be in relation to where you are. You can very slightly see a difference in reflection
okay.
or lack of reflection.
Can we hear each other?
Oh yeah,
Nobody's
yeah.
made
You can
any
hear
sound.
steps and all that.
Okay, well,
Right.
that's a relief.
Oh, so Kennedy can hear the train.
Yes. No, sound is still there.
Then why wouldn't she be able to just navigate back?
Just can't do it by sight.
She's a
Yeah,
goat.
you can't do it by sight.
Just
I never
run.
said you weren't able to navigate back. I just said you couldn't
Just
see.
run in a straight line.
Okay, so Kennedy is going to start carefully walking in the direction that she hears the train.
Oh, she's probably dead. I don't know what could have happened.
I'm not dead, you idiot.
You hear that about 20 feet in front of you.
I am very glad all of a sudden that
The two
I
of
did
you
not
who
walk
are
through
not
the door.
holding the box
Hmm.
now realize the darkness is moving.